Starting where I left off, we're going to deal with the engine covers, swing arm assembly, the shocks, try to get the whole rear end situated, and also deal with this radiator. Let's get to it. One down. Got both bearings seated. You can see the snap ring groove right there. The swing arm uses a stack roller bearing setup, so you got two bearings sitting on top of each other. So we're going to put the snap ring in, and then we'll move to the other side that uses a needle bearing with two seals. Snap ring pliers are from Harbor Freight. These are their icon. These things work on the first try pretty much every time. Sit that in there. Never goes without fail. I'm gonna chip something, or I'm gonna mess something up. And in this case, I have chipped this outer powder coat trying to install this bearing, man. It did not want to go easily. I should have froze it. I typically just drive them in, and on this occasion it wanted to fight me, and so because of that I have damaged it a little bit. Nothing like say unsafe, it's more so just, yeah, I damaged it. Ooh, that was a bit of a nightmare there, guys. Got the swing arm ready for install. Putting bearings in, man, it can either go one or two ways. Right here went good. The needle bearing though, with that seal on both sides, yeah, it gave me a bit of a challenge. Needle bearings are not my friend, but I'll cover that up later. Belt has to go on before we put the swing arm on. So if you didn't know, if you want to change the belt on your Indians, you got to take the swing arm off to get the belt off the front sprocket. So we'll put that on. And I'm just gonna loop the swing arm around it. The whole reason I have this platform jack, it just makes it so I don't have to try to hold it. I can just sit the swing arm up there once I slide it in. Oh, you know what? I may not have the room I thought I had for that other piece. Huh. Let's see. All right. Oops. I have gotten ahead of myself. My bad, y'all. Ooh. Yep, that's my punishment. That is my punishment. I forgot to install these spacers. One sits outside like that. The other sits the outside like that. Psych. Made you look. They go on the inside. I told y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. Y'all think I'd be joking. There we go. There we got our washer. Probably need to clean these threads off. Don't want to mess up our torque. Grease and oils will throw off the torque value for sure. So I'm gonna go back with it. Swing arm is on. Nothing special to this. 85 foot-pounds is the torque. Gonna use the crescent wrench to hold on one side. I think that's gonna be torque. That's a lot. We're not clicking. Huh. Now, like I said, I don't want to ruin it because there's grease on the other side. I'm gonna say that's torque. Everything's moving up and down like it's supposed to. Nothing's binding. We're gonna roll with that. Also, I just learned this about this bike. Unlike the Chief. Oops. So when this is not in use, the frame or the swing arm actually sits on the bottom of the frame right there. Yeah, so anybody, information, there you go. All right, we got the lower belt guard. I'm always a little iffy about these because they sometimes look kind of cheesy. But the cool part is if I decide to take this off later, not hard to do. We're gonna do the front drive sprocket. As much as I want to leave this off, the reason I'm installing it is because I want to get this off of my bench. So I know what parts I have left and what parts I need to get rid of. And so doing this clears out the big box of stuff I have. Ain't gonna clear out nothing if I keep dropping all these dang screws, huh? Ooh, the rain is coming down. Oh man, I need to clean my gutters. One project at a time, man. Securing this brake line. So when I install my caliper, we're good to go. And also here's the wheel speed sensor. Shocks. Pretty simple. One up top with a washer. That. If I can get it. Might be a little hard to thread that. And lift the swing arm up just a little bit. Get that to line up. Alright, so this one's giving me a little bit of a problem because of the powder coat. So I'm just kind of pre-threading it to knock that powder coat out. But what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to go back with some penetrating oil so I can get that to seat correctly. Money. We cooking with grease, man. We got 65 foot-pounds on all four of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Not the prettiest of things. Exhaust bracket. Not the first and won't be the last, guarantee you. And then these going down here. I would say aftermarket exhaust would be so much better of an option because it would more than likely eliminate this bracket completely, so you can see the swing arm a lot better. But we're not going to be running an aftermarket exhaust, at least not at this current time. We're just assembling the bike to the best of my ability, and then if I decide to do that later, I can, but you know, we still got to pass inspection because this is not a street legal bike. 50 foot-pounds. All right, so this is slightly irritating. I was going to take the heat shields off of the exhaust because that makes them easier to install. That's one of the big things I had trouble with getting off when I was taking the bike apart. So we got these regular, I forget the brand name, got these clamps, right? You screw them off, cool, and they pull the heat shields off the headers. But for some reason, we have these ones that you have to cut off. So once you cut them off, you can't use them again. Cut off, none cut off. Like what the heck, man? Why? So here's what I'm gonna do. Just so I can get this installed, I'm gonna move these two. Well, actually I found a spare from my Sportster. I'm gonna put that one up here. I'm gonna put one of these right here, cut this one off, leave that one on, and we'll run with that until I can get a spare, or I think I may have another one on my shelf. I got bigger problems. Remember this little guy? Yeah, so this connects into the harness right there. Took it off because we got a cable broken right there. I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll wire this up later. I can totally clear that. Yeah, I can't clear it no more. So what's gonna have to happen, I just need to take the right and left strut off, That'll lower it down enough for me to do it. But the problem is I got to take these two bolts out, because if not, this is going to hold it up. So yeah, waited too late and I'm paying the price of that. The reason I didn't want to do this at the time is mostly because once you get in the zone on doing something, you don't really want to stop. And I was in the zone with assembling the bike, and I was like, damn, I gotta stop to do this. It kind of takes you out of your flow. And I didn't want to stop the flow that I was on. There we go. Got it. Wrapped it with some electrical tape just to kind of cover up a little bit of work that we did. There we go. That little piece is the silicone that helps with the vibration, but it'll be fine. Go back with the install. Here's the solution. We're gonna do some Velcro on the bottom, some Velcro on the top. And then we're gonna use the one little post that's left on the battery box for me to mount it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Unless you plan on putting your small hands in places that it should not be, a space that's tighter than a loose butthole, do not try to put this piece on with this cable after all of this has been assembled. You're going to struggle, but luckily I made it work because I'm good at putting my hands in small spaces. So we're going to connect these and we're going to move on. Oh buddy, did I get lucky. This one goes, goes there. Snippity snip there. This one goes, yeah. Don't know where this one goes. Old bearing 6304 2RS. New bearing from All Balls Racing 6304 2RS. I trust their greasing. Shouldn't have to do anything but put them in. Spacer that sits between the two bearings. Bearing driver. Just like that. Some people like to freeze them, drop them in. I'm just gonna hammer mine in. Powder coat is silver expanse, black with silver sparkle in it. Flip that over. Put our spacer in there. Don't forget that important thing. Line it up. Make sure the spacer's lined up. Dust seal. Rotor. And ABS ring. Looks like Loctite was already on this bolt, but it is crusty. Added a little bit of blue to each one of these, so we should be good. Probably didn't need it, but it won't hurt. Torquing these to 19 foot-pounds. Bink. 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 Done. Torqued. Not even gonna play this game. Gonna lube this thing up because we're gonna need every little bit of help. This tire is stiff. God damn. I can't get this in the drop center. Holy crap. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That, my friends, was a freaking challenge. I ain't mad at you. You made me work for that one, but I won in the end. Install the valve stem. All right, this tire
And the wheel combo is essentially ready for install. So the weight is a little light, but if I add too much, it might sink. So I'm not gonna add one more. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing off and get it on the bike. Man, these Pirellis, they are something, you dig? Rear end pretty much done. Now I got the tire, the wheel mounted, powder coated, that silver expanse. Also we got the sprocket. It is done. The rotor is on there. The ABS toner ring is on. I'm gonna mount this thing up. I'm not gonna fully torque it down because I still got to deal with the brakes. We got to get the belt situated, the tension, the alignment of the wheel. We just want to get it mounted for now. I've been at this for a minute because the hardest part about these freaking wheels, man, is getting this stupid bracket to fit in between all of this chaos. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's also because I don't have a front end on here either, and that makes this a little bit more challenging. If I had a front end, I wouldn't be fighting this thing. I really wish Indian would make this bracket just a little bit thinner. This bracket always, no matter what Indian I'm messing with, it gets in my freaking way. And these little dials that you do the belt and alignment with, if they don't perfectly match up in their grooves, whoops, on both sides, it will not work. You will not get this thing on no matter if you go with a 150 all the way up to a 200. This is a 180. But I think I got it. Yeah, never again without the front end on. No, that was way too much work. Another tip for this is if that sprocket has any amount of play, that is taking from the 1/8 of an inch and the 1/16 of an inch, you may need to get this on. So make sure that sprocket is fully seated to that wheel hub. A lot of irritating work with this rear end, mostly just the tire. It's just a little finicky. You don't have much space to play with, kind of how that tight loose butthole connector that I dealt with. But anyway, we got it done, and I think that's where we're going to end it. As far as the exhaust, what I decided to do right before I cut it, I said, let me go see what other people have done, just see if I can get some tips. And my good friend, Her 6 Gears, Jamari, she does a lot of work with her Scout Bobber. Yeah, this should have been completely freaking obvious, but I'm not an obvious person all the time. Rather than try to fit the whole exhaust, they also had the problem with scratching up the exhaust and the frame. You just take the freaking thing all the way apart down to the H-pipe, and then you just put it on in pieces, or take it off in pieces. And that's what I'm gonna do when it's time to you know, put the exhaust back on. So yeah, good news for you. Yeah, you get to see this stuff. I was gonna say something else, but you can click this playlist right here to see where we came from with this bike, and you also see the videos when they pop up to see where we're going. So as always, hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. Catch you next one. Peace.